These are the top 10 shameful moments in football history you have ever seen. Number 5 will blow your mind. So stay tuned and keep watching. At number 10, we have a shameful moment when Luis Suarez bites Branislav Ivanovic, who is a Chelsea player. Suarez is no doubt one of the best players in the world, but a lethal player in football history. His entire career is filled with controversies. This incident happened when Liverpool played against Chelsea. Away from the ball, Suarez was seen tussling with Chelsea defender Branislav Ivanovic, who he then bites. It was not noticed at that moment, but after the match, officials encountered this shameful moment and banned Luis Suarez for 10 matches. He was also fined big amounts for his shameful act. The most shameful moment at number 9 is when Paulo Di Canio pushes on the referee. Like Luis Suarez, he is also an aggressive player and shrouded in controversies. During a match, referee Paul Alcock dismissively brandished a red card to the irate forward while simultaneously pointing towards the changing room. But before Alcock had finished pointing towards the dressing room, the Italian pushed the referee in the chest. These types of incidents we see numerous times in the history of football and should be stopped. What do you think? Comment down below and give your honest opinion. At number 8, we have the infamous kick of Eric Cantona on a fan. This was January 25, 1995, when a fan had been sending abuse the way of the Frenchman, and Cantona wasn't the type to stand back and take it. When he heard the abuse, he didn't think a second and give a flying leg first into Matthew Simmons. Matthew Simmons was a Crystal Palace fan at that time. At that moment it looks shameful moments from Eric's side. But actually, it was a shameful moment from the fan's side. This was revealed in the court hearing in 1996, and Matthew Simmons had also fined £500 and banned from the stadium for 1 year. Later Eric talked about this incident and said this was his favorite moment of his life. He said, "I have a lot of good memories, but my favorite is when I kicked the hooligan. I regret one thing, I would have loved to kick him even harder." This was not as shameful moment as our number 7. We have the shameful act of Luis Moreno. A league match between Junior de Barranquilla and Deportivo Pereira was played, and play was stopped after the bird was first struck by the ball near the penalty area, prompting the referee to halt the game. As the referee and players discussed what to do, Luis Moreno, who was apparently impatient over the delay with his team losing 2-1, was seen to kick the bird towards the touchline with his left foot before Atletico Junior fans shouted "murderer" at the Panamanian player. Some believe that the barn owl died due to the kick. Come down to number 6, we have the Frank Rijkaard. We all know about the Dutch and the German rivalry, but Frank Rijkaard took things a couple of steps far on this occasion at Italia 90. Frank Rijkaard spit on Rudy Voller when the referee sent Frank back off the ground. This incident wasn't the first shameful act between them. Before this, we have seen multiple shameful acts from both the legends, and it didn't stop that. We have seen multiple times as well after. At number 5, we have the fight between Lee Bowyer and Karen Dyer on the ground. In any high-pressure match, opposite team players are normally overheated. But this was not a fight between the opposite team players, but a fight in teammates. Back in 2005, in a Premier League match between Newcastle United and Aston Villa, Lee Bowyer and Kieran Dyer were sent off for an on-pitch scuffle that saw punches thrown by both players. Lee Bowyer took exception to Kieran Dyer not passing him the ball in one Newcastle United match and proceeded to grapple and then batter his teammate. Both were served with red cards, fines, and suspensions. This was a really shameful moment for both players. Come down to number 4, Chelsea fans showed a lack of humanity in the 2012 FA Cup semi-final against Tottenham, who booed continuously throughout a 1-minute silence in memory of the victims of the Hillsborough disaster. Irrespective of the team supported or the rival team disliked, nobody should have to go to a football match and not come home. For Chelsea fans in this instance to mock those who died supporting the team they loved shows a complete and total ignorance of the circumstances involved. This applies also to any fans who fail to show the appropriate respect to victims of the Bradford, Ibrox, Heysel, or Munich disasters. Here is a real message to all of us who love football. Do not cross your limit when supporting any team playing against any team. At number 3, Fabricio shows his middle finger to his fan in a match. The incident came in the Gaucho League match against Ipiranga, as Fabricio reacted to taunting from the crowd by flicking the middle finger of each hand repeatedly towards fans. Fabricio was trying to reply to criticism, but that is not a good way to deal with criticism at all, especially to the fans that help make this sport as great as it is. It's an unfortunate attitude. Fabricio was hot-headed, said Internacional President Vittorio Pifero, "We will not take action now, only after Easter." He is suspended until then. At number 2 in the list of top 10 most shameful moments in football are the racist chants of the crowd towards Balotelli during a clash. The Italian striker threatened to walk off the pitch after he was the target of racist abuse during Brescia's Serie A defeat by Hellas Verona. The referee paused the game and began the anti-racism protocol after Brescia's Balotelli picked up the ball early in the second half and kicked it into the crowd. A warning was also given that any abuse or disrespectful football chants would lead to the game being abandoned. The Serie A has been working hard to stop racist moments in football such as this one. On the top of our list of the top 10 most shameful moments in football is the tragic event of the referee getting brutally kicked by a player. Brazilian soccer player William Ribeiro was charged with attempted murder after he kicked referee Rodrigo Crivellaro in the head, knocking him unconscious. The shocking events unfolded after Crivellaro awarded Guarani de Venancio Aires a free kick against Ribeiro's Sao Paulo de Rio Grande team during the second half of their match. So that's our most shameful act in the history of football. We know you are thinking this should be in the top 10 or that should be in this list. Whatever you are thinking, write it down in the comments section and spread your thinking to the world.